In today's Nonsense Wars miscellaneous thing, we look at a vintage Black & Decker 7727 half-inch drill with hammer action. These were made between 1983 and 1999, but despite being well used and quite old, the primary functions still work fine. Nonetheless, the outer insulation has started to tear near the strain relief boot, and we are going to try and fix this annoying, if currently minor, issue. These boots are supposed to prevent stress on the wiring where it exits the casing, but in practice they often move the stress elsewhere. We wanted to cut the cord at the brake and pull more of it through the boot, but after cutting we found that the cord and the boot appeared to form a single piece. The remaining cord would not fit through the existing opening. Thus we had to remove some material from inside the boot, a somewhat arduous task given our tool selection. In the end, we cut the boot in half and scraped some of the rubber out using carving knives. The widened channel doesn't need to be particularly neat, but it does need to be big enough to fit the cord and small enough to apply some pressure once everything goes back in the casing. Said casing should secure the flanged side of the split boot, but we still needed to secure the other end. For that we used heat shrink tubing, a smaller size to apply more pressure and a larger size just to cover everything up. If this solution loosens over time, we can easily cut the tubing off and try a more durable clamp such as zip ties. With the boot reassembled, we still need to reconnect the wires. We trimmed the excess length, cut off about 1/4 inch of insulation, and soldered the leads in situ. Due to the space constraint, we joined them next to each other rather than end to end. It doesn't matter how you do this as long as you insulate the exposed metal. We again used heat shrink tubing. As an aside, we found it most easy to activate the heat shrink with a small open flame like this candle. Finally, we screwed the casing back together and made sure everything worked. The cable is of course a little shorter than before, but at least the insulation is intact and the boot seems to grip it well. We didn't apply any adhesive to the inside of the boot in case we had to reopen it, but barring any issues with the repair, the cord should not tear again for a long time. On that note, this is the end of the video, so have a nice day.
Take a drill bit.
That's pretty funny, actually.
Tighten down, and then at the end of the cable is this gadget, which you
Yeah, exactly. And then you need to
you crank
it down.
there, and now it's really rigid in
Yeah,
there.
you need to crank it down. Okay.
Crank it out.
Okay.
You could pull it out.